friends! If you are considering a move to Salt Lake City, Utah, you will want to check out Farmington because they have some of the best schools in the area. Davis County ranks number 5 out of 187 school districts in Utah. Today is a good day. Yesterday, I was able to negotiate an amazing deal for my clients. You are not going to believe it. I am a magician, just wait and see. They contacted me several months ago. We met and we talked about their needs and what they were hoping to accomplish. Their current home has 3 bedrooms and 1 bath and 1,000 square feet. Since buying the home, they have added 3 young boys to their cute little family, and mom works from home. Dad loves his big garage, the RV parking, and the additional carport. He is a car guy. He and his boys love to bond as they work together on cars. Their biggest fear in making the move was finding a place to live while they were securing the new home. We talked about a few different options. They could accept an offer and make it contingent on them finding a new home. They could make an offer contingent upon them selling their current home, or we could obtain a lease back after we sold their home so they would still be able to live there until we secured their new home. Our goal was to sell their home, buy a bigger home, and still have a home that had an oversized garage, RV parking, and a great sized yard so that those cute boys get their energy out while running around in the backyard. We looked at their numbers to determine their current equity that they would have available to use as a down payment. We talked about paying off the wife's car to help alleviate some of their debt and live more comfortably. I referred them to a lender and he walked them through the different loan types and scenarios. If you choose, or if they chose in this scenario, a conventional loan, they would qualify for a little bit less. They would bring a little bit higher down payment, but they would avoid upfront mortgage insurance that was estimated to be around $6,500. They would have a better payment, and it would give them the option to find a home that a seller wouldn't want to accept an FHA or VA loan. I will explain a little bit more about this later in the video, but let's stay on track with the story. We reviewed their current home and came up with a list of items to repair. We focused on functionality and safety. He wanted to replace the counters and the flooring, and I told him he didn't need to do that. I guided him to focus on decluttering and storing some items to create more visual space and sight lines. As you can imagine, with 3 small boys in a 1,000 square foot home, you would start to outgrow the place. We didn't want the potential buyer to think that they were going to be bursting at the seams as well. Then we focused on cleaning and putting a fresh coat of paint in some areas. He needed to fix the doorbell, some electrical, some siding on the outside of the home, clean up the yard, and address a few other small maintenance items. We also set up a list of homes that would be sent to them daily that met their needs moving forward. As you can imagine, they got so excited about the potential new places that we ended up looking at a few homes they felt might just be a perfect match. The only problem with this is that they really needed to sell their current home so that we could have the funds to purchase the new one. This is called a contingency, and as you can imagine, it doesn't work as well in securing your new home, especially if there are multiple offers. Because if there are any competing offers that don't have a home to sell, they will always choose them unless you either overpay or can meet some other need that the competition cannot. So after several weeks, my clients completed the requested tasks and their home looked fabulous. We had amazing photos and a great video. The very next day, we were scheduled to list their home on the market. Then it happened. We went to see a home that they felt was perfect. When we got there, it was the one. My heart was excited and breaking all at the same time. I called a listing agent and found that she already had several offers. We were not competitive with our contingency. We were crushed, But we listed their home the very next day, and miracle of all miracles, I was able to negotiate an all-cash offer at the price that the sellers wanted and a 90-day rent-free lease back, so that they had the time that they needed to find their new home without moving twice. Cash is king, and that also means speed as well. We closed in less than 2 weeks, and then we had the money in the bank, and we started to look at other homes, but nothing felt right. We found some great homes, but none of them gave us the feels. I decided to call and check in with the agent on the one. She assured me that things were going smoothly with the buyer that they had chosen, but she agreed to let me know if anything changed. Yesterday, I got the call that their buyers canceled. My clients had their money in the bank and underwritten pre-approval, which means that despite having 2 holidays coming up, we could close in 3 weeks versus the normal and typical 4 weeks. And this was very appealing to the seller. I was able to negotiate some additional closing costs so that the buyer could do a rate buy down. Magic. They didn't even put the house back on the market. They didn't even tell the other potential buyers that had made some great offers. All because I was willing to be kind, check in, and offer to help the listing agent and sellers solve their problems if things didn't work out with their original buyers. Now we're in the process of buying their new home. It has rooms for the kids, an office for mom, an incredible oversized garage for dad, RV parking, and a 1-car garage for mom. The yard is perfect for the kids to run around, get out their energy, and they even get to stay in the same schools, which was really important to them. Magic! Homes and people really do match. It's a thing. If you want that fairy tale story, you will want to consider allowing me to work my magic. Now that we've had story time, let's talk about Farmington. In this video, we are going to look at the map and we're going to explore different driving options to get you both north and south along the Wasatch Front, which is the main living area in Utah. In fact, 82% of the population of Utah live in the Wasatch Front. So I will show you on a map as well how that works here in Utah. If you stick around until the end, I will give you a glimpse into some of the schools in Farmington. We're going to focus on the schools that will take your child from first grade all the way until graduation in the Spanish Immersion program. I will show you several properties with a range of purchase prices in the area so that you can see what will fit into your budget. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Salt Lake City, Utah, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know all the juicy details about Salt Lake City, Utah, living and lifestyle. My name is Janet with Living in Salt Lake City. We get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking for help to make a move to Salt Lake City, Utah and surrounding suburbs, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Our contact information is in the description below. We can help you make a smooth move to Salt Lake City, Utah and surrounding suburbs. Let's get started. Farmington City is located in Utah's 3rd most populated county, which is actually Davis County. This will be important in the future when you're doing your research about schools, sports teams, activities, and other important facts in the area. One of my favorite clients lives in Farmington. When we met at a business networking meeting and we sat next to each other, she was quick to let me know that she would never be using me for her real estate needs. She did intend to move, but she was going to sell her home for sale by owner. Because how hard could it be, right? Several years passed and she continued to ask me questions about the market. Over time, we built trust and she started to rely on my knowledge and skills. I really care about her and I wanted to guide her regardless of the outcome. I believe that when you share your knowledge and genuinely care about others, you create good karma. We all need each other. We became friends, and each time she asked for advice, she gently reminded me that she could do it herself. One day she called me and she said she needed me urgently. She had found her dream home. It was the one with a master on the main, a 3rd car garage, a small yard, backyard, but no HOA and the perfect kitchen. So the biggest bonus was it was in the exact neighborhood that she really wanted to live in. So she was in love, the connection was 100%, and we looked at it, and she asked me to represent her as a buyer. With the rush of emotion and the long list of requirements to prepare for the home purchase, she decided it was too much to do alone. I was in a panic because we did not have her pre-approval, and that is a big deal breaker. I typically never show homes until we know our numbers and have the pre-approval in hand from the lender. So we quickly got that letter and we made an offer. We didn't have to make it contingent upon the sale of her current home, since they were able to purchase without the equity from the home that they were currently occupying. She sheepishly admitted that she wanted me to help her sell their current home as well. She was feeling completely overwhelmed, and what once appeared to be so easy felt like Mount Everest. I gladly jumped in, and we were able to get her home sold and get her moved into her new one. Buying and selling real estate is extremely emotional. It's always such a huge relief to have a true professional at your side. So this is zoomed in on what is considered Davis County. So Salt Lake City is here, and if you head north from Salt Lake City, then you're going to hit North Salt Lake. So now we've entered into Davis County. North Salt Lake, Woods Cross, Bountiful. You also have West Bountiful, and then you have Centerville, and then it goes into Farmington, which that's funny. It's not listed right where. I don't know why it's not right here, but Farmington's right here in the middle. And then we have Kaysville, Layton, Syracuse, West Point, Clearfield, Clinton, Fruit Heights is over here. Those are all parts of Davis County. So we are going to be focusing today on Farmington, which hilariously enough is not like, there's not a tab here, but it is right here. It's missing in this map. But I did want to talk to you about the Wasatch Front. I wanted to show you that there's all these mountains here, which is the Wasatch Front, but it makes it so that you can only build so far to the east. And then on the west side, you have Utah Lake and Antelope Island. These areas are not, you're not able to build there as well. So you do have this little corridor, this skinny little area, which is where you can build homes. And this portion right here of Davis County, you can see it's not that big. There's not a lot of expansion that can be had. So it's very interesting. There's been a lot of interesting builds happening where the city is actually allowing them to change the zoning, and then they're going to go into the back of, like, for example, a Walmart parking lot. They're going to rezone it. They're going to build some multi-unit homes, maybe some townhomes or condos right there on the edge of that Walmart parking lot. This way, it helps with a lot of different things, including like pollution and making things more walkable, because that way, hopefully, buyers in that area will use public transportation. It will also give us more housing and more affordable homing. So that way, you can see that it will help with the market in general. So anyway, we're going to focus on Farmington, but I did want to show you, there's another map that I think is really fun. So you can see, I mean, Utah is largely unpopulated. All the green area means that there's less than 1% of the population there. And right here, you can see the hot spots. So this is actually the Wasatch Front. So there you have it. Okay, hey, look, I came back to this map and I found Farmington. I just had to scroll in a little bit, zoom in a little bit. So I wanted to show you like the different traffic patterns from Farmington to Salt Lake. So Farmington to Salt Lake is going to take you probably about 20-25 minutes depending on traffic. So you're going to take I-15, which runs along here to get you to Salt Lake's downtown city. Also, you can take I-15, loop onto 215, hit I-80 and get to the airport in that same 20-25 minutes. So it is a very convenient location. Farmington also has Lagoon, which is a huge amusement park that's a big deal. It's right on the east side of the freeway. Farmington does incorporate east and west of the freeway, so we'll look into that later as well. But I just wanted to show you that you do have some great driving options. They just added a new freeway that jets off of the I-15 and goes to this west corridor, and it's helped alleviate a lot of the traffic because more recently, in the last few years, you would find a lot of congestion as you were heading north at rush hour traffic between Farmington and Kaysville. So they've added that corridor, and it's done a great job to help with that. Obviously, you have many options of going to lots of different ski resorts, lakes, all the different places, enjoying the mountains that are right at your fingertips. It's not going to take you more than an hour to find a fabulous place to have a new adventure. Okay, so one of the really cool things about Farmington is that they have a Spanish Immersion program that goes all the way through high school. So the children can start at either Canyon Creek or Eagle Bay Elementary, then they would go to Farmington Junior High and Farmington High. So what an amazing opportunity to learn a second language all the way through your youth. There are other schools that offer Chinese and French immersion in Davis County, but I've heard the most about the Spanish Immersion program. Maybe that's because I speak fluent Spanish as well, and I wish that I would have started in elementary school. I didn't learn until I was college age. I'm a big fan of learning other languages and understanding other cultures. What about you? Do you want your children to be a part of an immersion program? If so, Farmington might be the perfect place to call home. The dual language immersion exists across Davis County, and it basically follows a 50-50 rule model. Then that means that they're 50% in English and 50% in the second language. So there are 4 Spanish, 5 Chinese, and 3 French tracks available in Davis County. At Davis County District, the goal is to ensure that all students are career or college ready. Upon completion, the students will be able to speak in another language, and they will be seamless in understanding a variety of cultures as well. Successfully acquiring a second language requires a long sequential course of study and focuses on the development of the students' language skills. Unlike the foreign language classrooms of the past, grammar, drills, and vocabulary list memorization are no longer the thing. It's not how they focus on their programs. They want to focus on proficiency because they know that that's what students really need. Davis County takes pride in their ability to offer both of these programs all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade in these immersion programs. The goal is that they will be proficient and will be able to compete globally and continue to contribute to a global society in a positive way. So we all wish that we had done that with my children in my home. Unfortunately, we didn't have that opportunity. Okay, so I wanted to be able to show you like the map of, or like how Farmington is outlined. You can see that it's both on the west side and the east side of the I-15 and the 89. Those are kind of your big main thoroughfares that divide the city. So I wanted to start by showing you, I thought it would be fun to look at this one. This is a townhome and it's built 3 stories up. So yeah, it's 3 stories. So you enter at the main level and then there are 2 additional levels. It's a fun little place. It's really, really close to Station Park. In fact, I mean, you could ride your bike over there. If you really wanted to, you could walk over there, but it makes it really nice. The grocery store, the bank, it's all really close. I think it would be also a great opportunity, something like this, if you wanted to buy it as a second home, or maybe you even wanted to rent it and make some extra income. Kind of a good opportunity. So it is 3 bedroom, 4 bath, 1,863 square feet. So let's just look at some of the pictures, see what we think. This one has a little gym. You can see that there are quite a bit of stairs in this unit. So that would be the only downside, is if you are not really into stairs, then you would probably not like this model because there are so many different levels. But it has some great open areas, cute kitchen, some great upgrades in there. You get some pretty decent views here as well. So kind of fun to see what they have in this area. I also wanted to show you a different price point. So let's look at a different price point. Okay, so this is a really fun one. And guess what? Like this one actually is right in the area to do that Spanish Immersion program. So if you were to purchase this home, then the kids would go to Eagle Bay Elementary and then Farmington Junior High and Farmington High School, and they could do the whole Spanish Immersion. And this is like the perfect area for that to work. This one is listed at $759,950. It has 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. It's 3,218 square feet, and it was built in 2003. But when we look at the pictures, I think they've done some pretty good updating. It's a cute little house. So I like where this one's situated. It's got a great, I always love those little tile backsplashes. I think they're cute. They've painted the cabinets gray, and they've got a nice countertop that's probably quartz. It could just be granite. Yeah, so a lot of fun. This house. I've always loved this beaded board or batten board, whatever you want to call it. I think that adds so much style to a room. Great views out the window, separate tub and shower, nice covered patio to enjoy those views. Something you might want to be aware of on the west side of pretty much all of Davis County, we do have a mosquito issue. So you've got to make sure that you figure out, there's a lot of great solutions out there. There's candles, there's sprays, there's essential oils. We've tried them all. And as much as we love being outside, you're going to want to do something for bug prevention. Almost looks like, oh yeah, a fire pit. And then there's those spectacular mountains that we have here in Utah. So that's a fun one. Also thought it would be fun to look at this new construction. You know me and my love for new construction. I'm a little obsessed, but this one is listed at $1,494,900. It is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,796 square feet, and it is a new construction. And this is considered a European romantic style. But it's kind of fun. It does have a little bit of a castle look to it, doesn't it? So it's just so cute. New construction, the smell, the feel, like knowing that you're the first owner. They do such a great job when they hire their design teams to make the home just feel just right. This is either the patio or the back porch. I'm not sure. Oh, I think it's the back porch. And look, you have a church as your neighbor. That's amazing because then you don't have to worry about having a back neighbor. So typically you're only going to have, the parking lot it doesn't typically even fill up all the way, but you'll have people there either, probably once a week, maybe twice a week. So it's not bad for a back neighbor. Yeah, beautiful flooring. If you like a cozy fireplace. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Mudrooms. Everybody needs a mudroom. They're the best place to just drop your coat, tuck your shoes in, keep it nice and clean. So fun. Yeah, some built-ins in the closet. That's nice. And second kitchens are really, really popular right now. It is so amazing to have a little second kitchen area, whether it's just for your own family or if you want the opportunity to be able to potentially rent your basement. That is a great way to have a little bit of extra income. That's nice. Yeah. Cute little second kitchen down there. This one, obviously you'd have to add a stove and a fridge, but not a deal breaker at all if you wanted it to be complete. Some unfinished area. So there you have it. Okay, so I promised you a little bit earlier in the video that I would clarify the difference between FHA, VA, and conventional loans. The biggest difference is the required down payment. If you're doing a VA product, you can purchase with no down payment. You will need around $3,000 to be able to complete a purchase. but that's nothing to purchase a home. There is an FHA program for first-time buyers in Utah called Utah Housing that's pretty comparable. It does, however, have that upfront mortgage fee that can get a little costly, but it's wrapped into the loan. So, by the way, the definition of first-time buyer is anyone who hasn't owned a home within the last 3 years. So that's helpful to know as well. There's some different programs as well that I'll dive deeper into when I do my actual financing video. But for today, we're just going to skim the surface. Well, these are the main options that are great for buyers. The seller can view them as weaker since the buyer doesn't have a lot of skin in the game. Also, the biggest downfall to VA or FHA loan is that there's a small inspection required that could lead to some non-negotiable repairs, meaning that if the appraiser flags an item, then the buyer can't move forward until that repair has been complete. So the biggest offender, you're gonna laugh so hard, is peeling paint. The home cannot have raw exposed wood. And although this might not seem like a big deal, it can be a big deal breaker in most cases. It's a big pain to scrape and then to sand and to paint. If you're looking from a seller's point of view, you want to avoid FHA and VA at all costs, just to alleviate yourself from the potential headache. So then with conventional loan types, there's a bigger requirement. You have to have a minimum typically of a 5% down payment. There is an option with only a 3% down payment, but it's a very specific program that you would have to qualify for. But conventional loans don't have the same strict requirements on those inspections. And it's very rare if you have to do any kind of required repair. So the sellers tend to love that a lot more. And obviously they like that the buyer has more funds invested and less restrictions. So there you have it. There's the difference between an FHA, a VA, and a conventional. Just a really quick explanation. But like I said, if you really, really want to understand, I'm going to do a much better job explaining in my future financing video. So you'll want to take a look at that. Okay, so now that you can see how to get around town when living in Farmington, Utah, you might want to compare it to the surrounding areas and see which one is the better fit for you. So stay tuned for upcoming videos on North Salt Lake, Bountiful, Woods Cross, West Bountiful, Centerville, Farmington, Kaysville, and more. If you want insight into your specific situation, then let's chat. I can help you evaluate what will best suit you. We can help you make a smooth move to Salt Lake City, Utah. So in the meantime, see you around town.